Good afternoon and welcome inside Geisman Gymnasium as we get set for today's Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference matchup between your Concordia University Chicago Cougars and the Eagles of Benedictine University. Peter Borkowski here on the Cougar Sports Network, hoping everybody watching had a good holiday season. Winter break coming to an end here at CUC. School starts back up on Monday, but before then, the women's basketball team looks to get back in the win column in conference play against an always tough Eagles squad. So let's go into the breakdown of these two teams before we send it to the court for action. Starting with your Cougars, they're coming in today a 5-6 overall record, 2-1 in conference play. That is good for fifth place in the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference, the NAC. Most recently, however, they're coming off a loss at Lakeland University this past Wednesday, a tough 54-50 loss up in Wisconsin. Kalia Reed led the charge with 12 points, including 3 steals, getting it done defensively as well. Behind her was Malia Perry, 11 points, grabbed 4 boards, and then right behind Perry was Michaela Ellis. She had 9 points, but a whopping 8 rebounds on the day. Michaela Ellis always been one of the stars of this Cougars team, and even though her point total wasn't where it usually is in that Lakeland game, got it done on the rebounding side of things. Michaela Ellis is the points per game leader for the Cougars, scoring right over 13. Rebounds per game leader for CUC is Allison McGregor. She's averaging 7.5 assists. Michaela Ellis and Missouri Wingham have 17 assists each. That leads the team. And the steal leader for the Cougars is Kalia Reed. She has 17 on the season. But let's shift things over to the Benedictine Eagles, the visitors today. Struggling a little bit overall this year, 2-10 overall record. However, they're also 2-1 in conference play. That is 7th place in the NAC. They're most recently coming off a win on Wednesday, 67-52 up in Milwaukee at Alverno College. Autumn Rucker came off the bench, but that didn't stop her from scoring 18 points. Mackenzie Carroll also in double digits with 11 total players scored in that Alverno game for the Eagles. The bench as a whole scored 36 points, but one number to know, Alverno did out-rebound Benedictine 40-35, so that rebound battle might be something to watch tonight. In terms of the stat leaders for the Eagles, Ryan Ogarek is the points per game leader at 14.3. She also leads the team in rebounds per game at 5.9. Jordan Carlquist, meanwhile, 33 assists on the year. That leads all Eagles, and Carlquist also the steals leader for this Benedictine squad. She's got 19 on the year, so shaping up to be a good one here in Geisman Gymnasium as we close out spring break. We got national anthem and starting lineups for you, but during all that, we got a special message from President of CUC, Dr. Russell Dawn.
Hello, I'm Dr. Russell Dawn, President of Concordia University Chicago. Thank you for tuning in to today's Cougar Athletics broadcast. We take great pride in the strength of both our athletic and academic programs, which are rooted in our steadfast commitment to Jesus Christ. Dedicated to the liberal arts as a foundation of a high-quality college degree, we believe education should form individuals for service to their neighbors. This makes Concordia Chicago an exciting and fulfilling place to study, work, learn, and grow. Learn more today by visiting cuchicago.edu. Thank you, and go Cougars!
National anthem has been played. The starting lineups have been read. Let's run it back one more time for everybody watching at home. For the Benedictine Eagles, Kinsey Carroll, number 0. Jordan Carlquist, number 3. Number 5, Marissa Hanley, number 20, Sophia Hardy, and number 32, Claire Lewandowski. The assistant coaches for Benedictine are Taylor Harrison and Todd Zazadil, and Oliver Wiseman, third-year head coach of the Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Cougars, it is number 0, Missouri Wingham, number 1, Malia Perry, number 4, Michaela Ellis, number 12, Alexis Desjardins, and number 30, Allison McGregor. Cougars, their assistant coaches Anthony Johnson, Gary Butler, head coach in her 6th season, Lauren Martin, as going up for the tip is Hardy and Ellis, and Benedictine controls it as we are off here in Geisman Gymnasium. The last game before school resumes for second semester action, as Benedictine, an immediate drive to the rim and a basket by Jordan Carlquist gets the Eagles off right. Less than 20 seconds into the game, the Cougars now trying to escape a full court press from the Eagles. Missouri Wingham, one of those assist leaders for the Cougars I mentioned, as she has 17 on the year. Inside feed to Allison McGregor, who uses the board to her advantage. And we are all knotted up at 2. Successful offensive possession for both teams so far, as Carlquist hands it off. Benedictine swinging it over to the wing. Now it's back to Kinsey Carroll. Tries to put the moves on Ellis. Ellis gets a hand on it. Kayla Ellis, strong defense to start. Gets a couple cheers from her bench as she brings it up the court now. Missouri Wingham, inside pass. It's deflected. Goes out of bounds. Last touch off an Eagles hand as Cougars look to inbound now. Alexis Desjardins, number 12 for CUC, senior out of Red Lake, Minnesota. Came to CUC last year as a transfer. Immediate impact from her physical play and three-point shooting. She's having another solid year, as she is one of 3 Cougars averaging double-digit points, as Missouri Wingham, she'll hit a long 2, makes it 4-2. Desjardins, 10.3 points per game. That is third on the Cougars, behind Kalia Reed and Michaela Ellis. Meanwhile, the Eagles back on the offensive. Top of the key to Carlquist. Carroll now back to Carlquist as she goes to work on Missouri Wingham. Shot clock under 10. Carroll pulls up from 3 and no good, off the back of the iron. Rebound by Carlquist. She puts it up and in. Jordan Carlquist able to grab the board, put it through the hoop, and tie this game back up at 4. Now Michaela Ellis for CUC. She's been running point so far today. And corner 3, Malia Perry, no good. A little too short. Now here's Alexis Desjardins. 3-ball, it's good. Alexis Desjardins having a fantastic season from beyond the arc. 42.6% of her 3-balls go in. Arguably the best three-point shooter on this Cougar squad, as Benedictine looks for a response. Here's a 3. Carlquist finds a response. 7-7. These teams trading blows early here in Geisman. We are still tied up at 7 now, as Missouri Wingham grabs the ball. Cougars slow it down. Try to find some direction from Lauren Martin and the Cougars bench. Inside pass to Allison McGregor. Too hot to handle. She loses it. She goes over and shares a few words with Missouri Wingham, as that was the connection where McGregor lost the pass, and Wingham will take a seat on the bench now, as bringing up is Kinsey Carroll. Pass to number 20, Sophia Hardy, as whistle blows. It's going to be a foul on CUC, as it is on, waiting for the Malia Perry with the foul. As now the Cougars got to go back on defense. Carlquist, nice moves on Kalia Reed, just can't get the bucket to go. Carlquist tried to put Reed in a spin maneuver, just could not hit the short shot. As here is Reed, a standout freshman for CUC, second on the team in points per game, has missed some time recently due to an arm injury. You can see her wearing a black sleeve on her left elbow. That is where she went down hard back a couple weeks ago. As driving to the basket for a bucket is Marissa Hanley. And Benedictine back in control now, 9-7. Kalia Reed double team. She has to get it out. Michaela Ellis, and that's going to be an over and back. An errant pass from Kalia Reed. Stressed out by the double team as the Cougars get a substitution in Leela Scott, another standout freshman for this CUC team. Been having herself a very nice season. Not in terms of the point scoring, but as does a little bit of everything for Lauren Martin. Good defense. She's third on the team in assists with 15 and tied for third on the team in steals with 13. Missouri Wingham is who she's tied with. As Hardy ends up turning the ball over. Here come the Cougars now. Michaela Ellis going to work on Hardy, and Hardy makes up for her turnover, forces one, glides to the rim for a basket, and that's going to force a timeout by Coach Lauren Martin. It'll be a 30-second timeout for the Cougars. They currently trail Benedictine 11-7. As we check out some of the stats so far from the game, the Cougars 3-point scorers in Alexis Desjardins, Missouri Wingham, and Allison McGregor. Desjardins with 3. Wingham and McGregor have 2 each. Meanwhile, Benedictine, Carlquist doing the heavy lifting. 7 points, 3 for 4 from the field, including a 3-ball. Hanley and Hardy also have buckets for 2 points each. Benedictine currently shooting 62.5 from the field, while the Cougars sitting at 63 for 5. Benedictine, they're 5 for 8 as the timeout breaks up. Teams make their way back to the court as it'll be Leela Scott to inbound for CUC after the last Benny bucket. But look at this full court press from Benny. They have 4 players on the Cougars side of the court. Only one player, that is Claire Lewandowski, is back. The Cougars try to beat it 2-on-1, but Lewandowski, the 5'10 player, gets up there, deflects the pass, and one in the other direction. Sophia Hardy going hard to the rim, and she has a chance to give Benny a 7-point lead here. She can sink this free throw. Great display of defense to offense for the Eagles. The Cougars had a 2-on-1 going the other direction. Then Claire Lewandowski got up, blocked a pass, and then immediately sent it in the other direction. And Hardy was able to convert on the and one. That makes it 14-7. Benny doubling up the Cougars. Michaela Ellis, as the Cougars moving the ball. Leela Scott fumbles the pass, able to recollect it though. And Kalia Reed now, as she'll start a drive to the rim, passes to Ellis. Ellis barrels down, no good, gets her own board. Michaela Ellis and Leela Scott from 3, no good. Allison McGregor gets a rebound and a foul on the floor. Foul on number 3, that is Jordan Carlquist. Carlquist, one of 2 Carlquists on this team, along with Jesse, both from the siblings from Arlington Heights, both seniors this season. Jordan currently the leading point scorer in the game. Aaliyah Perry now drive from the corner, inside pass, no good, as Allison McGregor is a little above her head. Now McGregor takes a fall. She's back up on her feet as she's able to cut down the odd man advantage for Benny. Now here's a drive to the rim. Basket is good. Coming alive is Kenzie Carroll. Got it in the corner, put the ball on the court. Hard drive to the rim, and the bank is open. Using the board wisely, and now a high pass, and it's no good, but collected by Kenzie Carroll. As Benedictine playing a little bit of chaos ball here. Now they try to settle things down. Carlquist puts Carroll in motion. Carroll with the ball, back to Carlquist on the elbow. Uses the screen, jumper, no good. Rebound is out, and last touch by CUC. Kalia Reed got a paw on it before it left the field of play, and now that'll cue some substitutions. Missouri Wingham Princess Gates in for the Cougars, while Autumn Rucker, the freshman out of Indianapolis, checks in for Benny Rucker. Had that 18-point showing against Alverno on Wednesday off the bench, too. Very impressive numbers for a bench player. As top of the key, Lewandowski, a long three. It is good from Steph Curry range. Claire Lewandowski, a good foot or two above the highest point of the three-point arc. And now a hard drive by Princess Gates. It's no good. Ball knocked out. Last touch by the away team. Lewandowski, a lot of confidence to pull that three, and she's able to sink it a couple rolls around the rim. But a three is a three at the end of the day, and that makes it 19-7 in favor of the Eagles. Khalil Reed, she'll pull up for a three ball, no good. Tried to use the screen from McGregor as Benny collects the rebound. Carlquist out, Lewandowski, how about another three for you? No good, off the back of the iron. And Allison McGregor collects the rebound, and that's going to force a timeout by Coach Lauren Martin as she does not look happy with her team, as they are currently trailing by 12 at 19-7 against the Benedictine Eagles. So we're going to take a break here on the Cougar Sports Network. 3:13 left to go here in the first. Cougars got some work to do. Timeout just about over here in Geisman. Coach Lauren Martin still having words with her Cougar team as they trail Benedictine 19-7. 3:13 left to go here in the first quarter. The Cougars, their field goal percentage has absolutely plummeted. They were at 60% for a while. Now they're sitting at 33.3. 3 for 9 from the field, as well as 1 for 3 from beyond the arc, as Coach Martin puts in a trio of freshmen now. Emma Nickerson, Lindley Southern, and Abby Kulig checking in. Missouri Wingham and Princess Gates also out there, the veterans on the court right now. So a pretty brand new lineup for Coach Lauren Martin as she's just trying to find something. Abby Kulig inside, it's good. Coach Martin gets an immediate answer out of that trio of freshmen in the form of Abby Kulig out of Carroll Stream, Illinois. The 5'11 freshman has gotten a decent chunk of playing time this year and has made the most of it, as she's become an integral part of this Cougar lineup. A foul on the floor as we take a look at that replay. Nice pass inside, and Kulig is able to finish it off the board. So Cougars cut it down to 10, 19-9, as the Eagles get set to inbound it. Jordan Carlquist, she finds Hardy, give and go to Carlquist, pulls up from the elbow with nothing but net. Jordan Carlquist feeling it right now, as she currently has a game-leading 9 points. Inside feed, Emma Nickerson. Ball knocked away and gathered. Good defense there by Autumn Rucker. Almost accidentally, she went up for the block, and her leg, I believe, hit the ball, and she was able to collect the loose ball. So Autumn Rucker, intentionally or not, able to cause a turnover. And now another foul by CUC. And Missouri Wingham tagged with it, as the Cougars sitting at 14 fouls now. They got to be careful. Here's a three. It's no good. Rebound still loose, and fighting for it, Lindley Southern showing some grit on the court. Gets some cheers from her team. Jump ball possession favoring CUC. So number 22 in gold, the freshman out of Decatur, Illinois. Some hard work to gather that loose ball, give the Cougars a possession here. Missouri Wingham now neglects the screen by Nickerson. Inside pass, and Abby Kulik gets tied up during the shot. That'll send number 31 to the line. Abby Kulig on the season from the charity stripe. 9 for 14, just over 64%. Her first shot, no good. The foul was on Kenzie Carroll, number 0 in black. And as Kulig looks to redeem that first miss, she does. Sinks the second free throw, makes it 21-10. Benedictine playing with some speed here as now Kenzie Carroll slows it down one-on-one with Missouri Wingham at the top of the key. She decides to drive, pulls it back, crossover move. Here's a 3 ball, and it's no good off the hands of Rucker. Ball out of bounds. Last touch Benedictine, so CUC gets a possession here. 1:34 left to go here in the first quarter of play. Cougars trailing Benedictine 21-10. As a go-ahead pass, bounce pass picked off. Nickerson was looking for fellow freshman in Kulig, and right there was Carlquist. Kicks it out. Here's a long 2. It's no good. Rebound collected by Benedictine, and a foul on the floor. Autumn Rucker grabbed the board. And that'll put Benny in the bonus, so shots coming up here for Rucker. Nickerson's first foul. Meanwhile, the Cougars, they are at 5 now in the first. First free throw is good from Rucker, so she'll get a chance to go 2 for 2 on the year. Rucker, 62.5% from the free throw line coming in tonight, as now her total sits at 12 for 18. After her 2 made free throws, the Cougars leaving it in the hands of Missouri Wingham. Wingham now, hard drive, passes. Lindley Southern pulls up, no good. Ball loose, out of bounds. Last touch, Cougars, as that almost looked like it was knocked out by Marissa Hanley of the Eagles. Her official calls otherwise, as the Eagles now bring it up the court. Here is Carroll. Carroll, she finds Sophia Hardy, who gives it right back to Carroll. Carroll kicks it out, and a foul on Autumn Rucker. Nickerson getting a little too handsy with the other number 11 on the court. Nickerson and Rucker both wearing double ones. As Rucker has another chance at the free throw line, went 2 for 2 in her last trip, as her first free throw is up and good. 24-10 the score now. Has a chance to extend this lead to 15 with under 50 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Rucker, her second shot is up and good. That makes it 25-10 as substitution comes in as Jesse Carlquist, the other Carlquist I was mentioning, checks into the game. Olympia Kukinez also in the game now for Benny, as the official having words with Coach Martin down on the Cougars baseline. Abby Kulig now. Cougars trying to escape the trap. Percent Skates just tries to run through it, and she draws a foul. Jesse Carlquist tagged with it. Emma Nickerson set to inbound, finds Missouri Wingham right in front of the Benny bench. Missouri Wingham over to Princess Gates. Gates pulls up, 3 ball, no good. Cougars track it down. Nickerson looking for somebody. Lindley Southern, tough basket and one. Lindley Southern, great off-ball cut to the rim. Nice feed from Nickerson, and then uses the board to her advantage. Also draws a foul, which means she'll have a chance for a three-point play here. Her shot is up and good. Takes a few lucky bounces. I guess lucky depending on who you ask. And it is now 25-13. Cougars trying to cut this down even more before the quarter ends. 15 seconds to go. Here's a three, no good. Cougars get the ball. They have the last shot here if they want it. Missouri Wingham, she pulls up. 5 seconds to go. Cougars got to get something off. Missouri Wingham to beat the buzzer. No good. Ball loose. Buzzer goes. And that'll do it for the first 10 minutes of play. 25-13 the score in favor of the visiting Benedictine Eagles. So the teams will take a break. We'll take a break here on the Cougar Sports Network as well as we prepare for second quarter action coming to you shortly. Cougars, they trail the Eagles by 12 here on Saturday afternoon hoops. You're watching the Cougar Sports Network. We'll be back in just a second. Second quarter about to get underway here as the teams make their way back onto the court. CUC, they got some work to do as they trail Benedictine 25-13. Peter Borkowski, you're on the Cougar Sports Network last Saturday of winter break before students return to school and classes and all that good stuff. Most of the student body returning tomorrow on Sunday before classes begin on Monday. But women's basketball, they've been busy for quite a while now as that pass is deflected off the hands of an Eagle right into the hands of Lindley Southern. As Missouri Wingham now a hard drive to the rim. Underhand layup, no good. She gets her own board. Now Lindley Southern tries to shoot it through Olympia Coquinez. Unable to, and whistle blown as some substitutions come in. Missouri Wingham will inbound it. The jump ball was called, possession favoring CUC. So they get an extra chance at a possession after that last unsuccessful one. Missouri Wingham now. Inside pass to Abby Kulig. Kulig bounce pass out of reach of Lindley Southern. Turnover as the ball goes out. Benedictine will head the other way now. Inbounding will be Autumn Rucker. Rucker, she finds Carroll. Kenzie Carroll. Over to Jordan Carlquist back on the court. As she goes to work inside. Blocked by Michaela Ellis. Michaela Ellis has played some strong interior defense today as she gets a foul on that ball. And now Cougars, they're getting stuck in a double team. Missouri Wingham. Inside pass picked off, but it somehow gets in the hands of Kayla Jackson, who draws a foul on the floor. Kayla Jackson in the game for the Cougars, a graduate student out of Worth, Illinois. This year she's averaging just 4.9 minutes per game, but she gets an early entry into this game as Coach Lauren Martin is trying to find some answer to this Benedictine team who's up by 12, has been up by double digits for most of this game as Michaela Ellis pulls up. Her jumper no good. Ellis still looking for her first points in the game. A rare sluggish game from Michaela Ellis as that's a nice pick off by Abby Kulig as she presents her tryout for the CUC football team. Cornerback position, picks off that ball. As Missouri Wingham now. She finds Lindley. Southern finds Missouri Wingham, and a ton of defense up front for Benedictine as Wingham pulls up top of the key, no good. Bounces right into the hands of Marissa Hanley. Go ahead pass to Rucker. Rucker now dribbles around inside the paint. No good on that shot. Rebound, Michaela Ellis. As Michaela Ellis, we didn't see a ton of her in that first quarter compared to what we usually see out of her in terms of playing time. As Lauren Martin exploring alternative lineups to try and get this Cougars team alive. Now Michaela Ellis, turnaround shot. It is good. Once Michaela Ellis gets in a certain radius of the basket, and there's not much you can do to slow her down, especially with that turnaround jumper that she is so proficient at. Now she has to go on defense against Jordan Carlquist, who will draw a foul. It's going to be a block on Abby Kulig. Cougars back within 10 as Kalia Reed, checks in for Missouri Wingham. Meanwhile, Cammie Hurt checks out for Benedictine. Coming back in is Sophia Hardy, one of the starters for the Eagles. As first free throw from Carlquist, nothing but net on that one. Carlquist, the second leading scorer on this Eagles team, 9.2 points per game. Only 7 free throw attempts coming into this match, but she goes 2 for 2 on that trip. As Cougars start moving the other way. Give and go basketball between Michaela Ellis and Kalia Reed. As Lindley Southern now bounce pass inside to Ellis, ball loose and turnover. Cougars having troubles with the turnovers so far today. They got 10 now against the Eagles as they're having a hard time. And gobbled up Abby Kulig. Absolutely demoralizing block on Rucker. As now here's Kalia Reed. No good on the shot. That would have been an impressive stretch of play as Abby Kulig went up for the block and just completely ate the ball up. But Benedictine, they're back on the offensive. Rucker glides to the rim, and good. The ball thought about it for a second, decided it wanted to take a trip through the net. And now Benedictine ups their lead back to 14. Abby Kulig grabs it just before it was picked off. Kulig now to Kayla Jackson. Jackson over to Kalia Reed. Reed drives, kicks it out. Lindley Southern, 4-3, no good. Cougars really struggling from beyond the arc. They are 1 for 7 now. They have not hit a three in quite a minute as here's a three ball from Benny off the front of the rim. Rucker able to get another shot and no good, but does draw contact and the foul. And so Rucker will get free throws. Number 5 and 6 so far. She is 4 for 4. Allison McGregor checks in for Abby Kulig, and for the Eagles, Sierra Skack checks in for Marissa Hanley. Skack, first time we've seen her tonight, a sophomore on this Benedictine squad, averaging over 7 minutes a game. As Rucker, after missing the first free throw, looks to redeem herself here. Shot is up and good. She does. Now 5 for 6 on the night from the charity stripe. She'll check out for the game. Claire Lewandowski. She'll check in for the Benedictine Eagles. She's received a fair amount of playing time already, sitting at 7 minutes, coming back into the game. Kalia Reed now pulls it way out, almost to midcourt, as she's looking for an option. Cougars look a little stagnant offensively. Inside pass, Michaela Ellis. Nice pass around a body from Ellis, but Allison McGregor couldn't get her hands on it. It rolls out of bounds for a turnover. Michaela Ellis trying to pass it around the body of Sierra Skak, and it seems like McGregor never really got a good beat on the ball, as Benedictine looks to capitalize on another CUC turnover. Skak a long three off the front of the iron. Rebound, bounces around. Benedictine gets it back. Skak, top of the key. And here's a three ball, no good from Hardy. Ball goes out. Last touch was Hardy on the shot. And that'll be a CUC possession here, as Benedictine still using a hard press. Ball is loose. It pays off. Turnover for the Eagles. Carlquist, ball ripped away, and Kalia Reed fighting for it. This is going to be a jump ball. Possession is favoring Benedictine, as it'll be Hardy to inbound it. Hardy, a freshman, all the way from Clackamas, Oregon, making the long journey out to Lisle, Illinois, which is just about 20 minutes from River Forest. These are two of the strongest rivals in the NAC due to that proximity, as these two teams always like to beat each other, as Benedictine is on track to do that today, as they are doubling up the Cougars right now, 30-15, and another CUC turnover, as the Cougars really struggling to get anything going in this first half, anything consistently going. Skak now passes to Lewandowski. Inside pass to Carlquist, as she has to collect herself. Shot is no good. Carlquist, kind of a weird angle shot, not able to sink it. Kalia Reed now sending signs around the Cougars bench. Cougars players on the court, excuse me, as now she kicks it out. Layla Scott, corner three is no good. Cougars still looking for just their second three of the game, as that go-ahead pass picked off by Alexis Desjardins. She's checked back into the game, as before Cougars get another shot at the basket, Coach Lauren Martin going to call a timeout. It will be a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here on the Cougar Sports Network. Cougars, they've got nobody scoring above 3 points. Desjardins, Southern, and Kulig all have 3 points each, as those are the point leaders for CUC. Meanwhile, Benedictine relying heavily on the hand of Jordan Carlquist. She's got 11. Rucker, she's got 7, however, and Hardy, she's got 5. As those are the major point scorers for this Benedictine team. They've come back to earth in terms of the field goal percentages. They're sitting at 35.7, but the Cougars are sitting at 27.3. And probably the big number to worry about if you're a Cougar fan, 13 turnovers for CUC. Compare that to just the 5 the Eagles have given up. And it's not hard to see why Benedictine has built this 15-point lead here late in the second quarter. 3:34 to go before we head to the halftime break, as Cougars trying to put a run together to make this score more respectable going into the locker room. Hopefully get some second-half magic then, but they got to put together a strong finish for the first half here. As Missouri Wingham feeds Allison McGregor inside. Good ball movement. Corner three. Desjardins. It's good. Alexis Desjardins. If you need a three, you know who to call. Cross-court pass goes to nobody. Lands in the hand of a lucky fan. No souvenirs will be leaving Geisman, however, as they pass that back inbounds. Missouri Wingham brings it up. Goes to work on Carroll. Just takes it to the rim herself. It's no good. Benedictine, they had it for a second, but dribbling off her own foot was Hardy. Kick ball, possession, CUC. So the Cougars get a shot to make up for that missed basket. Leela Scott to inbound, finds Missouri Wingham. Wingham now. McGregor, that pass is tipped by Lewandowski, but Leela Scott able to grab it. Leela Scott gets the ball right back, uses a screen by McGregor, but just loses it. Fumbles off her own fingertips as the Eagles slow it down. Lewandowski. That ball tipped around right in the hands of Khalil Reed. Some messy basketball being played. And another turnover. Neither team feels like holding on to the ball right now. They're in the Christmas spirit, the giving spirit. Giving turnovers left and right. And as now Benedictine really slows things down. They want to take care of this ball as they have a chance to extend their 12-point lead. Carroll, inside pass. How about another turnover for you? As we haven't had a basket in a hot second here. Khalil Reed hopes to change that with a three ball. Rebound up. And it grabs a couple fingertips and out. They're going to award possession to CUC. Been a while since our last basket. That came at the 3:28 mark of the quarter. We're now at the 1:45 mark as we're still scoreless in this drought. Leela Scott turnover there. Benedictine now. Can they break the drought? Here comes Rucker. Nice Euro step. It's no good. Cougars. Can they get a basket here? Missouri Wingham. Pass to McGregor. McGregor, Lindley Southern up top. Khalil Reed over to Leela Scott. Good ball movement here. Open three. Missouri Wingham. No good off the top of the backboard. Good ball movement. Wingham just could not convert. Here's a basket finally from Marissa Hanley that breaks a 2.5 minute scoring drought from either team. As the teams have turned up the defensive pressure here late in the second. Allison McGregor, she's blocked, gets her own rebound. Here's Leela Scott, top of the key, no good off the front of the iron. And now a go-ahead pass to Coquinas, and a foul on Rucker. She'll get another trip to the free throw line. A long stretch of back and forth play over the last couple minutes here. Only one basket has been made recently. That was the Marissa Hanley layup. As Autumn Rucker takes free throw attempt number 7 and hits it. 6 for 7 now. She'll look to go 7 for 8 in just a second here. Rucker. Shot is up and good. Takes a favorable roll. And that makes it 34-18. 41 seconds to go here as the Cougars hope to scrape together a couple points before the quarter ends, and they have to go into the locker room for some halftime adjustments, which they're going to need some major adjustments. Benedictine has been control most of this game. Missouri Wingham. Abby Kulig back out to Missouri Wingham. Bounce past Michaela Ellis at the elbow. That is her spot, but she dribbles out of it. Cougars 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Missouri Wingham now. She's just going to take it to the rim. Foul and one. Missouri Wingham providing a spark here for the Cougars, possibly, has a chance to complete a 3-point play. Wingham used all of her steps on that shot and able to get it to fall through contact as her free throw attempt is up and no good. The lead holds at 14. Benedictine, they can hold to the last shot. That ball goes out of bounds. Possession CUC. Great defense there by Lindley Southern. Able to cause a bad pass without getting a piece of it as it goes out off Benny. So the Cougars, they get the last shot now if they want it. 10.8 seconds to go here in the second quarter. They can cut the lead down to 11 with a 3. As Missouri Wingham finds Alexis Desjardins. Alina Paul, a shot, no good. Rebound Benny, 3 seconds to go. 2-1, a last second heave. Goes nowhere close to the basket, and that'll do it for the first half here in Geisman. It was all Benedictine this half, as they're going to take a 34-20 lead into the halftime break. CUC, they got some adjustments to make during the halftime intermission. So when we come back, we'll have third quarter action for you on the Cougar Sports Network. Cougars trailing Benedictine 34-20. You're watching the Cougar Sports Network. We'll be back in just a second.
University Chicago is a Christ-centered Lutheran university where truth, freedom, and vocation form students for lives of influence and service for the common good. Our university offers a wide variety of undergraduate and graduate degree options that are available in person and online. That means we have a program designed for you. Whether you're a high school student, an adult returning to complete your degree, or someone looking to enhance your credentials and prepare for career growth. As a member of this university community, you'll also find support in your spiritual and personal life so you can grow in the faith and discover ways to serve others. To start your next journey with us, visit cuchicago.edu today.
I'm a CUC nursing student and choose to stand tall for healing at a university that places Christ at the center and embraces teaching students to live a life fulfilled by purpose and meaning. Concordia University Chicago's new Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree is an innovative and rigorous 4-year program that will prepare you to rise to the daily challenges of a rewarding nursing career and serve a greater cause. Our newly built modern simulation center features 4 distinct spaces: a skills attainment lab, multi-specialty intensive care spaces, a health assessment learning center, and a simulated home environment. Due to our close proximity to many world-class teaching hospitals, CUC's clinical rotations offer an abundance of diverse and real-world experiences. Learn more about earning your BSN at a Christ-centered university today.
I'm Monica here at Concordia University Chicago, and we're here outside of Concordia Hall. Concordia Hall is the university's newest residence hall, right on the edge of campus, perfect for students who want to explore the nearby downtown of Oak Park and River Forest. The flexible suite-style living in fully furnished bedrooms lets students choose what works best for them. Every floor is complete with a community lounge and full common kitchen, with a kitchenette, microwave, sink, and refrigerator. The first floor offers the Victory Lounge, connecting to 2 additional residence halls, with no shortage of ways to relax. You're also right next to an open, outdoor plaza, better known as Victory Lane. So now we're here in Concordia Hall's suite-style dorm room, and this is a really nice place to just hang out and chill. And since it's so big, there's plenty of room to spread out and do your homework and just relax. So now making our way into one of the bedrooms, there's plenty of space in this room for you and your roommate. A lot of times students will move the desks so that they've got their separate study space, but my roommate and I, we get along really well, so we can just work together here in the same space. Sometimes I like doing art as well, as you can see by the painting here. It's a 16 by 10 feet space, and most rooms on campus are 10 by 12 feet. So it's really nice to have a little extra space to work with here in Concordia Hall. So this hall is super close to the chapel and the Kennedy Community Center, which has the new Crossroads Dining Hall, so the location is super convenient. And I really love the city scene too. The location here is the closest on campus to the Oak Park River Forest downtown area, which has a ton of great stores and restaurants. Speaking of the city scene, I adore the view from this lounge because you can see the Chicago skyline right there. Concordia Hall at Concordia University Chicago.
Cougar Nation! We love the support you give us on and off the court. To donate to our athletic communications department, hit the thank button.
This helps us to continue to have the best live stream possible for some great Cougar basketball moments.
Thank you and enjoy the game.
Less than 2 minutes away from starting the second half of basketball here in Geisman Gymnasium. The Cougars, they're trailing the Benedictine Eagles 34-20 as we head into the second half. Thanks for tuning in to the Cougar Sports Network. Peter Borkowski here with you. So let's go over some of the stats leaders from that first half of action. Leading the Eagles and the game in points is Jordan Carlquist. She's got 11 on the night. Meanwhile, for CUC, their leading scorer is Alexis Desjardins. She's got 6 thanks to 2 made three-pointers. The only 2 threes the Cougars have made this entire game. They're currently shooting 2 for 13 from beyond the arc for 15%. That seems to be a microcosm of troubles for the Cougars this game. They're shooting kind of poorly in general, 8 for 31, 25.8% from the field. Meanwhile, Benedictine, they're also struggling from 3. They're just 2 for 11 for 18.2%, but they're shooting 36% from the field, which is an almost identical mark to what they shot from the field in their win over Alverno on Wednesday. So amazingly consistent this Benedictine Eagles team is, as they're looking for their 3rd conference win on the season. 2-1. The Cougars also 2-1, looking to go 3-1. But in order to do that, CUC really going to need to cut down on the turnovers. 16 turnovers so far tonight for CUC. Benny, they're sitting at just 10, and that number was kind of inflated at the end of that second quarter, and a bit of chaos ball played by both teams. We won about 2.5 minutes without a basket being scored, as it was just turnover after turnover. Finally, Hanley for Benedictine ended that scoreless drought and eventually wrapped up the quarter 34-20 in favor of her Eagles team. As the squads make their way back on the court, your players to start the second half. For the Cougars, it is Ellis, Wingham, Kulig, McGregor, and Lindley Southern. Meanwhile, Benedictine, they're rocking with Jordan Carlquist, Claire Lewandowski, Sophia Hardy, Kenzie Carroll, and Marissa Hanley. They're starters from the game. Cougars give the ball to Kulig. Her first shot of the quarter is no good. She swings it to the top of the key. Ellis over to Wingham. Wingham now back to Ellis. Ellis jab step, decides to dribble in. Takes it to the baseline. Baseline jumper, it's good! Baseline J for Michaela Ellis. One of the tougher shots to nail in basketball. She does so. As now she gets a good defensive tip there. Michaela Ellis coming out with some fire in the second half. A hard shot. Now she goes for three. No good. So a little heat check there for Michaela Ellis. Went for the baseline J, a caused turnover, and was going for a three, unable to hit it, but hitting that shot. Who else? Jordan Carlquist. Just having such an amazing night from the field. 5 for 9. She's got 13 points now as the Cougars unable to score that. Foul called, however, on the floor. Jordan Carlquist is tagged with it. Foul number 3 on Carlquist. So she's going to be a little careful now. She's just got 2 left before she is expelled from the game. Missouri Wingham behind the back dribble. Feed inside. Michaela Ellis for the finish. Nice handle there by Missouri Wingham. A little behind the back action. As now Lewandowski, she blows by Wingham. Ball moved around the perimeter. Carroll, Lewandowski, open corner 3, no good as Michaela Ellis is struggling to get up. And she got up for a second. Now she heads back to the ground holding her left knee as the officials give her time. CUC calls their training staff over as Ellis still grasping that left knee as we go back to the last made basket by Ellis. Just a nice move inside by Wingham behind the back. Little dribble inside pass to Ellis. Ellis goes up for it through contact as well. However, she's now still on the ground being attended to by the CUC training staff as well as assistant coaches Anthony Johnson and Gary Butler. So while Michaela Ellis gets checked out and we hope everything's all right with her, we're going to take a quick break on the Cougar Sports Network. We'll be back in just a second. Cougars, they trail 36-24, 8:27 left to go here in the third quarter. Michaela Ellis able to walk off the court under her own power. A good sign for the Cougars as she heads over to the trainer's corner right behind the CUC bench for further evaluation. But again, a good sign that she's able to walk under her own power as she went down clasping her left knee. Meanwhile, play resumes here in the third quarter. Inside pass. Able to get it outside was Hardy as she was falling to the ground. Carroll beyond the arc. Less than 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. Carroll dribbles inside, and it goes out of bounds off her own foot. Turnover by the Eagles as the Cougars have a chance to cut this down to a 10-point deficit. They have not been in that territory in a while now. As that pass all the way to Abby Kulig. Now Allie McGregor. Her pass is going out, lands in the hands of Anthony Johnson, assistant coach of the Cougars. Carroll now. Hardy. Over to Carlquist. She's been the star tonight for Benny as that shot, a rare miss from her, and wrestling for it was Lindley Southern. Now Missouri Wingham, she has to go up against Hanley and draws a foul on it. Hanley getting a little too physical with Missouri Wingham, so inbounding it will be Alexis Desjardins. Hanley's first of the game as Desjardins inbounds it right in front of head coach of the Eagles, Oliver Wiseman. His third season, 26-26, 22-13 total record. As they pass inside, Allie McGregor tries to spin her way to the rim. No good. Rebound on the ground. Everybody tied up. Possession is favoring as we are waiting for confirmation here. Everyone seems a little backwards as two of the officials having words with each other. Trying to figure out exactly who should come away with this jump ball. And now the third official joins the party, and possession awarded for CUC. So a beneficial break in action for the Cougars. Alexis Desjardins will inbound. She finds Missouri Wingham beyond the three-point arc. Wingham top of the key to Desjardins. Desjardins trips. Foul called, however. As Benny looking a little confused. Hanley tagged with it. Trying to argue, I think, that Desjardins tripped under her own power. Either way, refs saw it as a trip from Hanley as Khalil Reed grabs it on her own side of the midline court. Now she tries to get to the rim. She has to pull out. Desjardins, top of the arc, to Missouri Wingham. Wingham now. She's going to pull up from three. Missouri Wingham! The confidence on that shot. She had a defender right in her face. She said, watch this. Pulled up and sank it. Nothing but net. And that cuts it to a single-point deficit as we get a replay here. At the start of the possession, Missouri Wingham kind of contemplating what to do. She decided, yeah, I got enough space for a three. Pulls up and sinks it. Big-time shot from Missouri Wingham. Cuts it down to a 9-point deficit. This is the closest the Cougars have been in a while. Now Jordan Bloomquist trying to get it back up to double digits, and I think Wingham got a piece of it on the way up as it hit the bottom of the rim. Khalil Reed to Missouri Wingham. Wingham to the rim, it's in! And the Cougars making a run here, and that's going to force a timeout by Oliver Wiseman and the Benedictine Eagles. A 30-second timeout for Benedictine as they have seen their lead shrink all the way down to 7 now, 36-29. As Missouri Wingham taking over this game for the Cougars. She's got 9 points now, the leading scorer for CUC. In the first half, she had just 2, so 7 quick points out of the gate for Missouri Wingham. (36-29) your score. 6:23 to go here in the third quarter as the Cougars looking to close this down, close this lead down. Benedictine, however, they're going to try to extend their lead here. 7-0 run over the past 2 minutes, 17 for CUC. And Benny's scoreless drought will continue for now. Hanley with the rebound and a foul on the floor. Kalia Reed tagged with it as Hanley was throwing elbows, trying to find any kind of space against the Cougar double team. Kalia Reed ends up tagging her, so 6:07 left to go. Possession, Benny trying to end this scoreless drought. And stepping out of bounds was the ball handler, so CUC, they got a chance to close this gap even more. As Missouri Wingham starts the drive. Wingham to Kalia Reed. She's got 3 defenders in front of her to worry about. She tries to find Missouri Wingham. It's saved going out of bounds with Hardy. Here's Carroll. No good. Rebound by Blomquist. And ball, an errant pass. Seeing ghosts was Sophia Hardy. She was looking for Hanley in the corner, but by the time they got the pass off, Hanley was already cutting to the rim. A little bit of a blunder there right in front of the Benedictine bench. As now Alexis Desjardins trying to figure out where exactly the referee wants her to start. As the Cougars, they got to break this press. Benny, they do. Here comes Lindley Southern. Bunny hop. She passes out. Alexis Desjardins, a 3 off the front of the iron. Rebound collected by Rucker. Here comes Autumn Rucker now. Kalia Reed tried to get a steal. Rucker able to pick up her dribble. 3 ball from Hardy. No good. Rebound is out. Last possession, last touch by Benny as Hanley goes hard into the wall. Luckily, the wall here in Geisman right behind that rim is padded. Just for cases like that of a player going a little bit too hard in the paint. As Missouri Wingham fires it across court to Kalia Reed. Alexis Desjardins called for a travel. She looks a little befuzzled by the call. Benny's bench starting to get a little loud here as they know that they need to get a basket here to stop this drought. 0 for their last 6 field goals, 3:43 without a bucket. Rebound, Rucker, and right as I say it, the announcer's jink rears its ugly head as Benedictine back in the scoring department. Missouri Wingham, Kalia Reed all by herself, no good. As she airballed that one. Benny, that is their first field goal in their last 8 attempts. They have hit a wall here offensively in the first half of the third quarter. Looking for some better luck in the second half of the third. As there's 4:25 left to go on the clock. And that shot is no good. Rebound is on the court. And just throwing it out of bounds was Benedictine. But they're going to say Alexis Desjardins hit it out of bounds. And a good sign here for Cougar fans, Michaela Ellis checking back into the game with some tape on her left knee. That is what was bothering her when she had to leave for an injury. But I'm sure the Cougars happy to see their leading player back on the court as she's still trying to get going in this game. 6 points total. Here's a corner 3 by Rucker. It's good. A huge 3 for Benedictine. And they've jacked their lead back up to 12 as now the Cougars are struggling to get that ball in the basket. Lindley Southern. She stops it. It's just ripped away from her. Kenzie Carroll said, "Give me that." And now here comes the Eagles. Hanley blocked from behind, but a foul on Missouri Wingham. Got a little too much of Hanley on that block attempt. And they're going to say it was on the shot, so 2 shots coming up here for Hanley. Hanley, her first trip to the charity stripe tonight. As her first attempt is no good, a little too much mustard on that one. Second shot is good. So Hanley, a 1-for-2 trip to the line. 42-29 is the score. Abby Kulig thought about going to the rim. Instead, she passes Michaela Ellis from the free throw line. No good, but draws the foul, so she'll go right back to the free throw line. This time, she'll get a couple of shots out of it instead of just a jumper. Ellis' first free throw is no good. This is Ellis' first trip to the line. Coming into tonight, Ellis 75% from the free throw line as she goes 1-for-2 on that trip. Benedictine ready to move it the other way. Their lead is at 12. Here's Jordan Bloomquist. Dips and jives her way to the net. Can't get the shot to fall. And now some physicality as Allison McGregor taking Marissa Hanley on a little merry-go-round trip. She falls to the ground spinning. No foul is called. As the referee's having another talk here. Possession looks to be Benedictine's. And it will still be Benny's after the conversation between the refs. Rucker to inbound. Rucker baseline drive. Tries to use the board a little too strong. Cougars grab the rebound. Michaela Ellis matched up against Madeline Keeler, excuse me. First time we've seen Keeler in the night, number 10 in black. There's Missouri Wingham. Spin move, shot, no good. Kulig, the rebound, and the putback. Abby Kulig. Cougars playing a little bit taller with her and McGregor on the court at the same time. Usually see Coach Lauren Martin play one of them, due to them being two of the tallest players on this Cougars roster. She decides to go with a taller lineup here, and it seems to be working as the Cougars have brought it back to a 10-point deficit. 7 seconds left on the shot clock, and a violation on Alexis Desjardins, leaning a little bit too much into Carroll. So each team at 4 fouls now in this third quarter. Both one away from putting their opponent in the bonus. Here's Carroll. Matched up against Missouri Wingham, 0-on-0. That pass inside, and Coquinez unable to handle it as this ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch, Benny. A broken possession there from Benedictine. Cougars trying to figure out who's going to inbound it. It will be Desjardins. Desjardins finds Michaela Ellis in the paint. Ellis throwing elbows, goes for the basket. Michaela Ellis showing off the strength on that one. She sat Carroll down and able to spin her way 4-2. Rucker, she'll try a deep three, in and out. The rim says, not today, my friend, as now a Benny player lands. Whistles blow as we get a second to look at this. Michaela Ellis, look at that, just spinning around, causing a ruckus. Puts Carroll on the ground and then eventually finishes it to bring the Cougars back within single digits. 34 points for CUC, 42 for Benny. Less than 2 minutes to go here in the third. Here is Ellis. Ellis, little sidestep maneuver. Her shot's no good. Ball is out. Possession, Benedictine. Literally said Abby Cooley got a piece of it before it left the field of play as Kalia Reed checks back in. Missouri Wingham is out. Here's Rucker. Skack back to Rucker. Over to Keeler. Keeler, that pass expertly read by Kalia Reed. She got a paw on it. And here comes Michaela Ellis. Ellis Trying to dribble around Carroll. She does, all the way to the basket. Michaela Ellis said, I got this one, guys. Just watch. And she takes it all the way in. Plays some hero ball, and it's paying off for CUC. They're within 6. Here's Rucker. A little floater. No good. The rim again. Says, you're not scoring on me, CUC. Less than a minute to go. Michaela Ellis for 3. No good. But Abby Kulig right there with the rebound. No Eagle even tried to get it. It looked a little turnaround. The closest was Coquinez. And now CUC gifted another possession and a whistle blown. They're going to call a foul on Kalia Reed. She pushed off her defender. 42-36. 35 seconds to go, about 5 seconds more than the shot clock. So the Cougars should get at least one more possession here, even if Benny uses all of this shot clock up. Here is Rucker. Coquinez. Back to Rucker. Rucker over Lewandowski. Rucker from the key. No good. Rebound gathered by Carroll. Shot clock is off. Rucker muscles her way, and a charge is called. Rucker trying to get physical with Kalia Reed. Reed expertly stands her ground and gets the charge call in her favor. And the Cougars will get another possession here. They can take the last shot. 42-36. They can cut this lead down to 3 if they hit a 3-ball. Give and go between Michaela Ellis and Desjardins. Desjardins back to Michaela Ellis. Some Jackie Moon basketball here. They just keep giving it to each other. Michaela Ellis now pulls up, jumper, no good. And that'll do it for the third. What a quarter in response by the Cougars. They came into the second half trailing by 14, and they're able to cut that lead all the way down to 6 as we head into the fourth quarter of play. It's shaping up to be an exciting final 10 minutes in regulation here as the Cougars look to pull even and maybe a little more with Benedictine. Both teams looking for their third conference win on the year. We're going to see who can pull it off when we're back on the Cougar Sports Network in just a minute. Don't go anywhere. Fourth quarter coming up shortly. (42-36) is your score heading into the fourth quarter as Benny on top of the Cougars, but they have seen their lead shrink tremendously. They were up by 16 at one point. That was back in the first half. And ever since then, CUC, they've been able to claw their way back thanks in large part to a third quarter where they outscored Benny 16 points to 8. And they're going to need to keep that up if they want to take care of this Benny team who has led this game for over 26 and a half minutes. Michaela Ellis, jumper, no good, off the front of the iron. Rebound collected by Rucker. Here is Kenzie Carroll, Lewandowski. Back to Kenzie Carroll. A long three from Skak. She hits it. How about that? Sierra Skak. Her first bucket is a long 3-ball, and that ups the lead back to 9. Benedictine, they're able to find that big shot when they need it. Allison McGregor, she grabs the air ball from Michaela Ellis. She misses the putback, but draws the foul. So Allison McGregor get a couple shots at the charity stripe. Her first trip there tonight. It was a foul on the floor, in fact. As Alexis Desjardins in the paint, she draws a foul. And I believe this one will send a Cougar to the charity stripe. It will. Foul on number 15. That is Skak. Desjardins, her first trip to the free throw line tonight. Shot is up and good. Nothing but net for Desjardins, who is entering tonight as a 95% shooter from the charity stripe. Amazingly consistent from the free throw line, and she shows why there. 2 for 2 trip. She cuts this lead back down to 7. Skak to Carroll to Lewandowski. Carroll, top of the key, over to Skak. She'll try another 3. This one, no good. Rebound is bobbled, and possession CUC. I believe they're going to say Carroll went out of bounds while trying to collect that rebound, which means it's inbound time for Desjardins. She finds Missouri Wingham, who had a great third quarter and is a big reason the Cougars are back in that. She throws that one way over the head of Michaela Ellis. They high five to show everything is good. They just got to get a defensive stop here. Lewandowski. Rucker. Back to Lewandowski. Rucker back to Lewandowski again. A 3-ball. It is good. A huge shot there from Lewandowski. That makes it a double-digit lead again. Like I said, Benny, whenever they seem to be losing that lead, they're able to hit some type of big shot to get it right back. And now Skak, she'll try a hand at a 3. Air ball. Nothing but air on that one. And it was a good look. Skak was wide open, just could not convert. And with 10-point lead, Benny's now got to go on the defensive. Michaela Ellis. Desjardins, she'll try a 3, no good. 3 balls are not falling here in the fourth. They haven't been falling all game, really. Benedictine, they're 5 for 21, 23%. Just under 24%. While the Cougars, they're 3 for 18, just under 17% from beyond the arc, as Coach Lauren Martin calling out a timeout, and it's going to be a full timeout. So we'll take a break here on the Cougars Sports Network, and when we come back, 8 minutes to go in regulation. Cougars, they trail 48-38. You're watching the Cougar Sports Network.
Now, we appreciate you tuning into today's game.
To stay up to date to all things CUC women's basketball, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at CUCWUall.
We'll see you on campus soon.
A reminder to all Cougar fans, you can find out more information about CUC athletics by visiting our website, cucougars.com. There you can find all types of good stuff like rosters, stats, schedule, social media, photos, and more, including more specifics for every team at CUC, like women's basketball. All you got to do is go to cucougars.com. As the women's basketball team trying to put together a big comeback here. They've trailed by as much as 16 in this game. They're down by 10 right now as Benedictine moves the ball the other way. Carroll to Rucker. Rucker inside the paint. And a 3-second violation called on Benedictine, which means it'll be turnover, possession CUC. Desjardins finds Kalia Reed. Right back to Desjardins. Desjardins quarterbacking this advancement for CUC. She finds Kalia Reed over to Zuri Wingham to Michaela Ellis in the corner. Ellis puts the ball on the ground. She goes up and fouled, a hard foul. As she goes down, she holds her leg for a second. As now she gets helped back up by her teammates. Michaela Ellis, an absolute warrior on the court. We've seen many games so far this year where she's gotten beat up, thrown around, left for an injury, and then come back like she did tonight, as her first free throw is no good. Ellis now 1 for 3 from the charity stripe. And she left the game earlier with a left knee injury and now checked back in a while ago wearing athletic tape on that left knee. As here's Rucker, a hard drive to the rim. Her shot lands in the hands of Ellis. Ellis trying to will the Cougars to a comeback here. Ellis puts it on the ground. Her drive goes nowhere, and a foul on the court. It'll go on Lewandowski. That is personal foul number 1 for her, as she will remain in the game. Wow, Skak checks out. Jordan Blomquist checks back in. Zuri Wingham uses a couple screens from McGregor and Reed. Wingham, her shot will not count. Foul called on CUC. Michaela Ellis was gifted the foul. That is her 3rd. The team already up to 4 fouls in this fourth quarter. They got to be careful. They're going to be in the bonus on the next foul and award free throws to Benny on any foul, which is not what you want to see when you're trying to come back from a 9-point deficit late in this game. And Lewandowski, she puts Desjardins on the ground, gets some oohs and ahs from her team. As Desjardins passes inside to McGregor. Here's Kalia Reed over to Zuri Wingham. Wingham now. She goes for a layup. It's good. Zuri Wingham having quite a game here. She's at 11 points now. Really coming alive in this second half. Big reason the Cougars are back in this game. 9-point lead for Benny. 6:11 to go. Carroll. Lewandowski. And that's going to be a travel on Lewandowski. Princess Gates checks into the game as Michaela Ellis checks out. Probably in need of some much needed rest after, again, she's played a physical game. Desjardins, 3-ball, no good. Rebound collected by Princess Gates. She drops it. Now she'll go for the putback, no good. Takes a roll around the rim and out. Here's Rucker. Rucker up, no good. Princess Gates slows it down. Finds Zuri Wingham. Wingham. Inside to Allison McGregor. Goes up, draws the foul. Good job drawing contact there by Allison McGregor. CUC. They're looking for their 10th overall win against the Benedictine Eagles. Last year, they won here in Geisman on February 1st, a 52-50 thriller. That was actually Concordia's first win over Benny since the 2017-2018 season. There's 7 straight wins for Benny in that time span, so CUC looking for back-to-back wins against the Eagles for the first time since 2016-17. As Princess Gates, she can't hit that shot. Ball moving the other way. Lewandowski, Carroll, shot is up and no good. Kalia Reed with the ball. Passes ahead to McGregor. McGregor puts the ball on the ground. Her shot no good. Taking a couple unfavorable bounces. Goes out of bounds. Last touch CUC. So now it becomes a game of the clock. CUC trailing by 9 with under 4.5 minutes to go here in regulation. They're going to need a good scoring spurt here. Meanwhile, Benny, they can just hold on to the ball for as long as they can, and it'll help when you have players hitting shots like that. That jumps the lead up to 12. Princess Gates, Kalia Reed puts some players in motion. A tough shot, Kalia Reed. The bank is open, uses the rim. Cuts it back down to a 10-point lead. And now Carroll is just going to dribble for a little bit, waste some time off the clock. Lewandowski, a three. No good. Rebound is up and out. Last touch, Benny. As we get a replay here. Look at this acrobatic shot from Kalia Reed. Mid-air, uses the backboard fully to her advantage. As she cuts the lead down to 10. Missouri Wingham now trying to get the Cougars back within single digits as we are nearing the completion of regulation. 3.5 minutes to go. Missouri Wingham steps through the defense. No good. Ball is up and it is back in. Nice save there. Jordan Blomquist, one of the best scorers on this Benedictine team. Showing some grit as well, saving that ball from going out. Foul charged on Kalia Reed, and want to correct something I said earlier. Is actually Benedictine who is in the bonus now. So the Cougars, they have 2 fouls to give before they enter the bonus. They put Benny in the bonus, I should say. So things look a little better for CUC in that regard. Carroll, again, using the clock as much as she can. Finds Hardy. Hardy looking for someone, anyone. Finds Carroll. Rucker, she drives, glides to the rim, and it in. Rucker, 19 points now. That ties a career high for the freshman. As this pass is gathered by McGregor. 3 by Reed, no good. Hardy is there. Now CUC figures going to have to start fouling pretty soon, start causing some turnovers. Again, 2-team fouls, so they got 2 to give before that 5th foul, which would put Benny in the bonus. Carroll, floater. It's good, and 1. That might be the dagger for Benedictine. As Carroll has a chance to make this a 15-point lead if she can hit this free throw with 2:21 to go. Make a comeback look even more improbable as that ball misses. So CUC catches a break on the free throw. They trail by 14 with just over 2 to go. Malia Perry, a 3. It's good! Nothing but net! Malia Perry, and now a timeout by Coach Lauren Martin. Cougars get 2 breaks in a row, a missed free throw, and then a great 3-point shot from Malia Perry. So they close the gap down to 11 as you see the replay. Malia Perry. Coach Martin likes using her as a 3-point shooter, shooting 27% roughly coming into tonight's game. As Coach Lauren Martin talking things over with her team. Cougars, they need 11 points in the final 2:09 to at least tie it, but they also have to stop a Benedictine offense who is firing on all cylinders, shooting 35% from the field and 26% from 3. Cougars are at 29 and 18 in those categories respectively. Cougars also got to be careful. They have 2 players in foul trouble, both of whom are on the court. Missouri Wingham and Kalia Reed both have 4 personal fouls each. 1 more and they will be ejected. Cougars do have 1 more foul to give as a team. They're sitting at 3 as Princess Gates will force Oliver Wiseman's hand. He's going to call a 30-second timeout to get his team under control. All his team really needs to do at this point is just use as much clock as possible. They're leading by 11 with under 2 minutes to go. Again, they use that clock smartly. They can really, really wind this game down as we see Charlie Cougar getting in on the action, enjoying the tunes played by our local Geisman DJ, Sydney Palaska-Slaher, our our assistant sports information director, excuse me. Our actual director of athletic communications is Kayla McLeod, who is handling duties down at the scorer's table. But back on the court, CUC, they need to get some kind of turnover here. It's getting to that point where they need some extra possessions. And they might get one here, but Bloomquist gathers a rolling ball, airballs it over Carroll. She puts up a shot, no good. And another rebound. The shot clock went off, but the shot hit the rim. And now Benedictine up in arms. So the shot clock went off right after a shot hit the rim. And if the shot hits the rim, that resets the clock. And the Benedictine faithful sitting behind their team, letting the referees hear it, as I believe the referees are saying that the buzzer was a little off of the shot clock, as that ball is no good. Benedictine players falling all over the place. Benedictine gets the ball. Cougars, they're going to need a foul here or something, down by 11 with 1:16 to go in regulation. Both these teams are hungry for a win. Jordan Blomquist, a nice layup. It's no good, however. Looked pretty, didn't count for anything. Here comes Princess Gates. Gates, a hard drive to the rim and lays it in. Princess Gates sidesteps through the defense. Cougars get it down to single digits with less than a minute to go, and there's a foul. Cougars had 1 to give as we see the replay here. Princess Gates showing off the move, sidesteps around her defender. And now the Cougars playing man-to-man coverage on the press. And then they have a safety in Lindley Southern who isn't on anybody. Now Benedictine trying to break it. Southern picks up the ball carrier and she fouls her. And that'll put Benny in the bonus, which means it's time for some free throws. And if you're Benedictine, you know what that means, which is if you can just hit your free throws consistently now, you should be able to seal the deal. Cougars, they're going to need some 3 balls. They're going to need some turnovers to make this happen, as they are down by 9 with 50.3 to go in regulation. First free throw up from Rucker. It is no good. That's a good break for CUC. Rucker having a good night in general. Again, tying her career high with 19 points. And a good night from the free throw line as well, as she's now 7 for 9 from the charity stripe. Trying to go 8 for 10 here. All of Benedictine's other players are back, ready to get on defense as Rucker hits the second shot. 50 seconds to go. Cougars, they need some 3 balls, down by 10. Missouri Wingham using precious time up. Cougars need to get a shot up. Wingham does. A 3, it's no good. Ball goes out of bounds, so Benny will get a possession here. See if the Cougars decide to start fouling or not. They have tight coverage on the press. And Oliver Wiseman calling a timeout. Referee looked a little confused about what he wanted to call. It'll be a 30-second timeout, as we'll keep it here on the Cougar Sports Network. So 35 seconds to go. If you want to play a little hypothetical, Cougars, they're going to need about 4 threes, and that would give them a lead. But while they do that, all of which has to happen in 35 seconds, mind you, while they do that, they got to keep Benny off the board, which means getting turnovers without fouling, because Benny is in the bonus now. So any foul on the floor or shooting is going to result in shots for Benny, which will just give them even more chances to increase their 10-point lead. So CVC, some lockdown defense and some sharp shooting 3 balls is what they're going to need here with 35 seconds to go. Inbound to Carroll. Carroll works on Missouri Wingham. They find Blomquist. Shot clock and game clock separated by about 6 seconds. A foul on Abby Kulig. And that'll send Rucker right back to the line. She's already set a new career high in points with 20. Again, doing this off the bench as well. So not only is she scoring 20 points as a freshman, she's doing it coming off of the bench. And she has a chance to build on her free throw totals for the night. 8 for 10 so far. Her first shot is up and no good. 8 for 11. Cougars hoping for a miss here to keep the deficit at 10. Shot is up and good. So the deficit now grows to 11. CUC needs to get down and just huck a 3-ball up. They're under 21 seconds to play as the shot clock is off. Kula goes for a 2. That's no good. Rebound knocked out. Last touch by CUC, and that might seal the deal. Benny can hold the ball now for the rest of the game. It's up to Coach Lauren Martin if she tells her team to press. They are pressing. They don't look like they're ready to foul. That ball tipped out of bounds right into the hands of Coach Lauren Martin by Abby Kulig. So Benny, another inbound pass. Here's Blomquist trying to just dribble this game out. And it looks like she will under 5 seconds to go. There's a turnover by Missouri Wingham. And that didn't even beat the buzzer. Doesn't make it either. And that is all she wrote from Geisman Gymnasium. Cougars, they fall in their second straight conference game, 59-48. CUC now has not won a game since way back on December 6th, a month ago exactly. That was a win over Alverno here in Geisman. So Coach Martin will have some work to do with their team before they take the court again. But before we get into all that stuff, let's look at some of the final statistics from tonight. In terms of the point leader, that honor falls to Autumn Rucker. 21 points on the night, a new career high for the standout freshman of this Benedictine squad. She's been having herself a really great year. She continues it here tonight against the Cougars. Jordan Carlquist, she was the star of that first half. She had 13 points as she cooled off immensely in that second half, but still able to help her team secure the victory. Meanwhile, in terms of the CUC points leader, that goes to Missouri Wingham, 11 points. Excuse me, Michaela Ellis with 12. What a gritty game from Michaela Ellis. Again, left the game due to injury, but able to come back and still put together some productive basketball and help her team pull closely within Benedictine at one point. They just could not complete the comeback. Missouri Wingham, as I mentioned, she had 11 points, a great game from her as well. The rebounding leader for CUC, Allie McGregor, grabbing 15 boards. That led the entire game because the Benny leader in rebounds was Hardy. She had 9. But that'll do it from here in Geisman today. The Cougars, they will now fall to 5-7 on the year, 2-2 in conference play, their second straight conference loss, while Benny, they improved to 3-10, 3-1 in conference play, so that'll move things around in the conference standings. In terms of the Cougars' next matchup, they'll be back here in Geisman Gymnasium this upcoming Wednesday, January 10th, a 7 p.m. date with the Milwaukee School of Engineering Raiders. And then they'll hit the road the following Saturday, travel to St. Norbert College on January 13th for a 2 p.m. game. Coverage for both those games can be found at our website, cucougars.com, and the live stream for that MSOE game here at CUC can be found on the YouTube page. You're currently watching CUC Sports. But before we sign off, I want to say thanks to everybody making this production of the Cougar Sports Network possible, bringing this game to all the viewers at home, everyone chiming in. Our stat spotter for the day, Dave Dimling, working the scoreboard was Sebastian Miller. On the cameras, Juwan Woodley, Van Gato, and one of the newest additions to our athletic communications department squad, Tyler Dorsch. Our producer for the night was Ashley Schroll. And we're under the direction of I'll get it right this time, our assistant sports information director, Sydney Ploska-Slaher, and our sports information director, Kayla McLeod. But one final time, Cougars, they fall to Benedictine 59-48. They'll be back in action right here at Geisman on Wednesday at 7 p.m., taking on the Milwaukee School of Engineering Raiders. But until next time, this is Peter Borkowski signing off of the Cougar Sports Network and wanting to say, as always, go Cougars.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.